Hey guys! Hello everyone! It is 1 minute till 2 on Tuesday. I will tell you what that means in a minute. Yes, you know what it means. It means a little Instagram Live. We got a great show for you all today. I'm really excited. We have a friend for you. We got somebody who's doing some spectacular design for you. We got some really great things for you. So anyway, guys, I am really excited. I'm behind a new item, by the way, so I'm gonna have to wait and see if you all can identify what this item is as our guest comes on board. But anyway, it's a beautiful day here in New Jersey, 20 miles outside of New York City, and after a lot of rain, a lot of craziness, I'm pretty excited to be here with you guys because, again, this is one of the highlights of my week. And I hope it's one of the highlights of your week too. Trying to bring a little sunshine and smiles to all of you guys. So let's see, right now, it's now officially 2 o'clock, if our special guest is arrived. Oh, somebody got Suzanne's Designs in Chicago, Crawford Woods. You're right. I'm gonna talk about it in a second, but good job, Suzanne. All right, let's see if our guest is here. Dun, dun, dun. I think he is. We're about to go live. Here we go. In 5, 4, 3, and we have a theme song.
Oh my God!
Ah! Does anyone else know?
That is very funny.
From? Adam, you're not allowed to say yet. Come on, folks, you know what this is.
Oh my God!
I feel like I want to lift you up on my shoulder. Adam Hunter!
Oh!
How are you, my friend?
What's up? I'm so happy to see your happy, sunny face.
How you doing, buddy? How's everything going in sunny California?
Good, you know, it's we're sort of made for this, but New Jersey and Manhattan, you guys are taking it. You guys are doing it. You are the heroes and the survivors right now.
We're doing what we can. We're doing what we can, but luckily, you know, it's getting a little bit better. Thank God. Thank goodness. But before I go into anything, I always like to start. I know you and I have talked, but I know you have a lot of friends and family watching. How is everything going? Your friends and family okay? How's your team?
Yeah, we've been very lucky. You know, Broadway lost on my former career. We lost Terrence McNally, who was considered one of the great playwrights of all time. And I've had a lot of friends be sick in New York City. Luckily, everybody here is good. You know, I think we have a little more distance in Los Angeles. I think that we're innately maybe healthy, germophobic-y, weird people anyway. I don't know that I was, but now I am.
Well, I didn't say it, California. I said it.
Yeah, exactly. I haven't seen my parents in very long. I haven't seen them in like a couple of months, so I miss them.
Yeah. Well, if your parents are watching, welcome to Instagram.
I know.
So for
what's behind you, by the way? I got to know. What's behind you?
What's behind me? Well, I'll tell you first. This show's called Behind the Design, so I'm going to talk a little bit behind the design. We talk a little design. We're going to talk some business of the design, and we're going to talk life in this crazy world. But yes, behind me, this is new. I change it up every episode. This is Crawford wood. Isn't that spectacular? It's one of our wood.
Spectacular. I love it.
Real wood.
Ooh. I
So
love
this is
it.
a fun one. And again, we try to change it up because that's what we do here.
Girls, let's put that in the next project. I love it.
He said every wall, guys. Every wall.
Every single wall. The ceiling, the roof.
The roof. Funny story. We could just chat the whole time like this.
I know.
Questions. But I'll tell you, it's very funny. A good friend and designer out of Jacksonville, James Michael Howard, once said to me, "Philip, I love you so much. I'm going to wrap this Hamptons house on Raphael around the outside." Yes, I am. And I'm like, "No, you're not." He's like, "Did I get you for a second?"
That's very funny. We do that with you guys. Hey, it's no secret that I'm an unabashed fan of PJ.
Well, we are fans of what you do, Adam. So thank you so much. And we want to talk a little bit about what you do. But first off, will you share with everybody why I played the Lion King? Because obviously, you know, it's like you.
I have no idea.
But share with everybody a little bit of background.
I have no idea. Why would you have done that, Philip? I mean, it's so random. Um,
To raise you up like that. That's
I had a former career. At 21 years old, I was in Les Miserables on Broadway. I went to Michigan, Ann Arbor, where you went, right?
Go Blue.
Go Blue. For training, and then at 21, I was in Les Mis, and then from there on, I did Ragtime and La Boheme, and then yes, it was The Lion King. It was my final performance, final show. I was Timon, and that shit is hard, man. I don't know.
Hey,
What'd you say?
is Timon the bad guy in Lion King?
Timon is Hakuna Matata.
Oh, Hakuna Matata. Oh, I blew it. I had Hakuna Matata going.
No, I'd much rather the other one. And can you hear me okay, by the way? There's no echoing, right?
I hear you fine. I don't.
Great.
Yes.
Great.
They hear you in Brazil. We got someone in Brazil watching you.
Oh my God. Yeah, there are comments down there. That's amazing. So when you're doing Timon, you got to get painted green every single night, and that was not for me. Half an hour of green makeup every night. I was like, I am not cut out for this.
Yes, you were not green with envy, huh?
Not green with envy. Very good.
So that was actually on Broadway too, right?
Yeah, Broadway and the tour. I did the tour for a long time too.
Wow.
Los Angeles.
So you went to school for theater. You were a theater major. How'd you get in this crazy industry?
Came out here to do a television show called Ugly Betty at the time, and then there was the writer's strike, if you remember, right at that time, and everything sort of shifted. So when I moved from New York after 10 years in New York with my partner and my dogs, everything just sort of stopped, and the show was recast and moved there. I had to figure out what to do, and I, long story short, stumbled upon Kate Somerville, who was doing her skin health clinic on Melrose Place, and I sort of had a lot of good on-the-job training, and then have been very lucky since then.
So that's great. So kind of just by sheer luck, something that interested you, and then you made that transition.
Exactly.
So talk to me a little bit about that. So when I think of your work, I think that you have kind of a modern aesthetic. How would you describe your design look?
I used to say transitional, symmetrical, sanctuary, warm, but I'm moving. I feel like any good artist is always in Genesis and making something new. And I feel like I'm much more contemporary as of late, much more clean lined, very inspired by French interior designers, Joseph Duran, Jean-Louis Daigneault. I feel like they're inventing something new, and it's also very theatrical. And I'm finding that some of my theater roots come back in making really specialized, not dissimilar from your papers, really specialized environments, not just pretty living rooms. Do you know what I mean? Really, really unique things, and it's always about the symbiotic relationship with the client that sort of produces that.
So when you say theatrical, I think drama, right?
Drama.
How are some of the ways you like to bring drama into a design?
That's a great question, because people are afraid of the word drama, some of them, and they're definitely afraid of the word glamorous, which is a word that I love. And I think the most important thing is keeping it restrained, keeping your hands tied back. And I am not a restrained person. You are not a restrained person. My shrink says that all my fantasies to be a restrained person comes out through interior design, because I feel like like color, if you're going to use color, you saturate an entire room. We're working on a client right now where we're doing this amazing periwinkle lacquer that's going to take 2 or 3 months to apply. But the whole room will sort of be a jewel box, rather than I'm not really big on a neutral room with green pillows. You know what I mean? I'm not used to popping it. I'm used to like drama.
All in.
All in.
And when you do the drama, I know some people who love drama in small spaces, but sometimes they want in a larger space, they're going to go something a little more restrained. What's your opinion on that, and what's your strategy when you're approaching different room sizes?
That's a really good question. So as opposed to New York City, where many fabulous designer friends of mine cut their teeth and are working constantly on brownstones and apartments, we're working on 10,000 square foot, places in the Brentwood Palisades area. So that becomes your routine. So you get sort of good at the map of what is neutral. And a lot of times that will be the foyers or the kitchen, although that's a wild card. You know, keeping the bedrooms are always very sanctuary-like for me. I'm usually colorless, silver.
So no there.
No color there.
Have their own drama in the bedroom.
Exactly, exactly. And then that's good. And then the rooms like the dining rooms, especially formal living rooms, which are going away now. We're either using them as beautiful rooms that you pass through and see all the time. So they're not always quite as functional because the people are living in the family room, or in California, they're living in their inside-outside space.
Yeah. Do you mind? I want to comment. So we have people from Sweden coming on.
Wow!
About Phillip Jeffries lacquered wall covering. Does it take 3 months? So I just want to say we have about 20, 25 colors of lacquered wall covering, and ours you can put up in the same week. So
3 hours.
3 hours. So if you want it, hopefully we have the color. We don't have every color, but if you want one of our colors, it's a couple of hours or a day. But yours, it's 3 months. So that's. I think you should mix it up. I think you should use their lacquer.
We used it.
Our lacquer on the walls. What do you think?
We have used, actually, I'm such a nerd, I can even go into the kind of lacquer Phillip Jeffries wallpaper we've used. We've used the rivets in my personal, I mean, not the rivets, the
studs and stripes?
Yep, that. And then, of course, the plain, beautiful, you have like a navy, a marine blue that's really, really rich that we've used. And you're right, that goes up in a day.
So can I show? So studs and stripes is like this one, but I think you did it vertical, right?
Yeah, I love that. Is that what it's called? Studs and stripes? We call it rivets. Studs and stripes. That's much better.
I'm pretty good on the names. I'm horrible at the colors. The colors go to the entire design and marketing team, but a lot of the names. But this is Housewives of New York. This is
you're kidding? Yeah, really pretty.
But it's sexy. But tell
really
me,
pretty, and it's a rug company rug in that photo. That's a rug company rug called the Moses.
The Moses. You know who I heard did a line for the rug company?
Oh!
Tell us.
I have no idea who you're going to say. Very funny, Phillip.
I've known this guy a long time, and not only are you doing spectacular stage, not only doing spectacular interiors, but you're actually starting to design some products. So tell us a little bit about what you did for the rug company.
You know, I've been so fortunate to align myself with them. They've been one of my hero companies. They were the first people that I ever saw who had married fashion and interior design. So we were seeing Alexander McQueen and Paul Smith. And to me, and I think to any good interiors person, fashion is what drives everything.
Yes.
It drives the colors, it drives the shape, it drives the trends, it drives everything. And to actually see like a Paul Smith rug, I used to wear his suits all the time, I still do. And to see a rug, it was like I had such stars in my eyes. Forget Broadway, I was so much more excited by that. And so I was a very good client, and then I started to say, but what if we did this, and what if we did this? And I came up with my own design, and my agent at the time at the rug company was the great Una Milan, if you know who that is.
I have no idea, but Una, if you're listening, you're getting a shout out.
She is actually, and she has a wonderful boutique here now in Melrose, Los Angeles. But she was one of the people who behind the scenes was like, I think you should listen to this designer, and that was in 2014. And 6 years later, we're working on our third collection.
Wow, that's awesome! Congrats.
Thanks.
So, how do you bring like when you? Because a lot of people sometimes start a room with a rug or that pillow, and then some people. I was talking. Jesse Carrier and Mara Miller from Carrier and Company last week, and they said they actually start with the envelope. They actually start with the exterior. How do you start a project?
The rug. Or I have, and I'm not just saying this, started it with, do we call it the fade wallpaper of yours?
Oh.
What's the one that's the degradé?
This one?
That's the one I mean. So, to be fair, so we're sure we're plugging each other here. I had a client who saw that and fell in love with it. Yes, and we did it in her dining room, my friend Victoria, and it's super cool. And
so anyway, you used fade, you said, right? And when you used fade, is that how you started that room that one time?
I'm going to tell, 1 second, I'm going to tell Jody Sports, I love you, stop texting. Oh my God, you guys, I can't see Phillip. Could you answer me a question again?
Sure. So I was saying, you said usually you start with the rug, but sometimes in this case you started with the fade wall covering, right?
Yes, exactly. So that sort of was the theme. That was very important to them. It was also right off the foyer. So it was, they had a very small foyer, but a large dining room. So it sort of served as the drama there. Normally, I love to start with the rugs, and I think the lighting. I think the lighting is sort of the most important part of the entire home. It's the jewelry. It's the magic. Again, that sort of harkens back to the Broadway stage, and where lighting was so crucial and important. And in fact, we were always lit behind us by a cyclorama, and the cyclorama was ombre. So think of like your old Apple wallpaper screens on your computer. They were always ombre. And in fact, I have a leather line with Studio Art leather that was ombre leather because it was all inspired by the light. And you guys do amazing. You are doing really innovative things now with ombre because you're doing rattan and patterns and, you know, different kinds of dégradé in that sense. But I would say lighting, and then I think the rugs are important, and rugs are most overlooked, and people have shtick about rugs because they have pets and they think they're going to put a rug in and it's going to be ruined, and that's not the case.
Yeah, it's funny. Actually, I actually have in my home a JD Starin rug. Shout out to if you guys are listening, it's beautiful. But you know, my puppy is now 2 years old. But every time it rains, he comes in. We clean him, we dry him. My wife is like totally anal and will like blow dry the dog. But what he does right after he comes in, he goes, most expensive piece of decorating in our house. He goes right to the rug. Am I right?
He has good taste. He
So,
has good taste.
It's dogs love it too, but you're saying it's dog friendly, huh?
You know, the better the rug, in fact, this is definitely the case in yours, the better the rug, the more dog friendly it is too. Sometimes if you're using a big box retail store, they'll use viscose or bamboo silk, which can always not hold up, but you'd be shocked. Sometimes rug company rugs are, man, I've had plenty of dog moments on them and they're in good shape.
Great. So the rug company will be sponsoring next week's edition.
Right? I know. Thanks, Jim Seuss. Yeah, totally.
Rug company. So anyway, no, but the great coordinate to Phillip Jeffries Wallpaper. So let's talk a little bit about, you know, design. And again, we're talking about your aesthetic. And like I said, in my opinion, modern. You said contemporary. I'll tell you what. Will you share what that means to you? Because I'll tell you, depending on who you ask, some people think modern, some say contemporary. How do you define the two?
You know, I always say I'm right in the middle between contemporary and modern, because modern can be a very scary word for people, especially Italian modern, which can go very icy and very European. Not that that's not great if you're in Europe, but it's a very different look. Contemporary. Say it again.
More minimal.
More hyper minimal, and contemporary allows it to be warm. Allows a lot of people's life heirloom pieces to belong in it. It doesn't have the strict requirements of something as stark modern. So, you know, I started transitional, I was very transitional. A lot of Hamptons, a lot of my first home with you in Brentwood was very Hamptons inspired. But I almost feel like we all progress. I think of peers of mine in Los Angeles, like Martin and Kelly, Wursler and Bullard, respectively, are also getting more modern. Like, you can just see that scale. I also feel like my clients are too. I have a project that's
modern or more contemporary or more transitional.
I guess the safe word is contemporary. I have a client who I love right now in the Palisades who started off very, very traditional. And 2.5 years later, she's moving into a completely different house that actually is who she is. You know?
So I guess one of the things that as a designer, you have to really help that person find themselves. Like someone told me, it's like a stylist trying to help somebody find the right clothes to wear.
It's the most exciting part of your job. If the client allows you to, it's about getting to know them and filter who they are through your lens.
I love it. So let me ask you, because these are obviously unprecedented times. I say crazy to make it a little more light, and we try to keep the show a little more light.
We're Jews. We're Jews. keep it light and sunny.
But I'll tell you, it's obviously a difficult time for a lot of people out there. How do you think right now people's design styles might tweak a little? How do you think it's going to transition a little bit now And how do you think you're seeing the world a little bit differently? Because I know you mentioned to me you're working on some projects now. Is the design, look, or style different than it was 2 or 3 months ago?
That's a really good question. If anything, I think it's cleaner probably and quieter because people are used to looking at the same things. And even sometimes I'm starting to edit. You know, you're really, really starting to edit your things because people want to feel, especially in close quarters, especially with other people, that everything is very, well, it's important to me, clean. And I don't mean clean, I mean that it feels, you know,
Not cluttered.
elegant and sanctuary-like. Yeah, I do think that maybe there's more of a minimal moment happening.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I'll tell you, you know, one of the things that they tell you in fashion, and again, doesn't necessarily apply to you and me, or maybe a little bit to you, I don't know, is before you go out for the night, take off one piece of jewelry, right?
Yep, right.
Is the translation true for design as well, do you think?
Is the translation true for design? Always. You're always editing. I mean, I have a friend, a designer in LA, and the photographer who shoots for both of us always says that he will put nothing in a room, and then at the last minute, he'll remove that nothing. You know what I mean? He'll put one object in, and before you shoot, you go, nope, take it away. Because our brains do like things more contained, unless it's a totally different style. If you're doing, you know, Versailles, if you're doing something very inspired, then of course more is more, but not for me, man.
Yeah. Well, it was interesting. I had Whitney on from El Decor a couple weeks ago, and he was saying that at the moment, February, it was a maximal feel, and that's the word everyone was using: maximal, maximal, maximal. On the runways, maximal, maximal, maximal. And he was saying the same type of thing, that in his belief, and I'm kind of in the same boat, that I think we're going to see maybe a little less is more, maybe paying a little bit more for some of the finer things, and kind of editing a little bit. So with that, if that's the case, and it sounds like you're in a similar
to his point, we are broadcasting live from my master bath because I have people working in my the other part of my house. And it is maximal. It's exactly what I was going for. I was sort of going for Versailles on steroids. So you can see that, you know, it was very, oh God, don't see my room. God, can you imagine Tom Ford did that? But anyway, maximalism is actually, she's absolutely right. I think that it's just sort of now that it intersected with this crazy historic moment.
Yeah.
To your point.
So when we think about what that means now with design, and you think about if things are going more minimal, are there things that your clients are asking for or questioning you about for the first time that they haven't in the past?
because of the situation that we're in?
Yeah. Like are they like, are they I'll leave it open-ended and then I'll ask a follow-up.
Okay. Some people are even more buckled down to it because they have a lot going on. They're managing their children. And because of the digital factor, we work on this app called Slack, which is unbelievable. And it's actually definitely increased our efficiency as a firm.
Yeah.
Tenfold. That's something great to have come out of this because that is always how my office will now run. And we have more interaction with the clients on very often because they're like, oh my God, let's do a living room because I can't talk to my kids. You know what I mean? So in that sense, it's been very productive. Of course, there's also a bit of a fear that everyone has. Luckily, most of my projects are many years. So you have to just sort of compartmentalize this as best you can, like we're all trying to do with people who are employed people.
I'll take 100%. I mean, I think confidence for designers, for clients, for installers, for everybody, confidence is a buzzword, right? People want to feel secure or confident.
Totally.
So we got a lot of designers listening to you right now. What type of advice would you give to them if they had clients who were lacking a little confidence in terms of going ahead, or what are some of the things that you would tell them that they should communicate to their clients about how to have more confidence, or which materials to utilize, or which companies to utilize, or what are some of those things that would be important, do you think, for?
You mentioned it. It's prioritizing. It's prioritizing. So I have a wonderful client in Beverly Hills, beautiful, big, amazing home, and they are in it. So they cannot stop at this point. They're 6 to 9 months away from moving in. And I spoke with them yesterday, and they said, we had this conversation because I was starting to sense a trepidation, and I understand that. And it was just about prioritizing. It was about what's essential, what is needed. And then, of course, as an interior designer, you have two parts. You're doing the finishes of the home first, and then you're doing the furnishings of the home. And the furnishings of the home can wait. You know what I mean? I don't mean wait a year, but I mean wait a couple of months. Wait until people feel like we have some perspective of what's going on. Like you said, in New York City, you're just starting to feel a perspective shift. And in people's health and people's optimism and the way they deal with things. I think the exact same thing rings true in business.
Well, great. Well, I do want to just share with everybody who's maybe not heard before that at Phillip Jeffries, we're trying to help out as well. And we launched this thing called the PJ Pledge, where if somebody ordered from somebody else and it's the company went out of business, there's some big companies that went out of business, we're offering similar goods at a discount.
That's amazing.
Shipping on everything. So if
that's amazing. And I feel like a lot of that is happening. I'm a 9/11 New Yorker. I imagine you're a 9/11 New Yorker. And I will never forget the kindness that was permeating throughout the city that lasted for years. It was something I could get like emotional thinking about it. And I feel like that is happening here. There are people, wonderful Menchie businesses like you who are helping other businesses. Dongia, where my leather line currently was before now moving to Thomas Lavin, went out of business, and Dongia is a grandfather to so many people in this field. So I think that amazing things come from a situation like this. But I hear what you're saying. And that's incredible, though. Thank God for you to do that. And we have considered that. And but we're also pretty heavily stocked up on your stuff anyway.
Thank you for your support. Thank you everybody who's listening for their support as well. So I'll tell you.
Tell us about the showroom. Can I ask you about the showroom?
To ask me about the showroom.
Did I not hear that there was a showroom that just opened?
Well, yes. Thank you for mentioning that. Actually, yeah, I'll tell you, crazy timing for everybody out there and all our friends from New York or anyone. When things get better, come back to New York. But in January, mid-January, we actually opened our first ever New York flagship showroom. So we're a beautiful, gorgeous, state-of-the-art. So we're excited. It was our first ever showroom in New York. But we're trying to continue to innovate and do things. Because I think the thing is, once things get back to a normal kind of pace, everyone's still going to want to be inspired. People are going to still want to see new things.
Totally.
And some way, I think this type of thing, Zoom calls, the Slack, the Google Duos or whatever, we're all going to be doing a lot more of these type of calls going forward.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's sort of going to be the new normal. And you know what? Something amazing that's happened from it, and it's even for me, because I come from the theater where you guys are far away. I'm in makeup, we're far away. This is so much more intimate. This is so much more connected. And in a way, I think it's really helpful. I think it's really a positive thing. Again, it's like online dating. It's different when you do this than when you do this.
Yeah.
You know? But I did see someone write, when's the party? When's the party? They wrote.
Well, we had an amazing party planned. It was like we had crazy musicians.
I bet.
Like it's so yes, you want to get that ticket, guys. Once things come back to normal.
Yes, you do. I'll be there.
Wowing you because this design business, I think we need a little bit of drama. We need a little bit of wow. We need a little bit of show business.
You want me to sing at your opening? I couldn't possibly sing at your opening. Okay, I'll sing.
The show must go on. And speaking of shows must be going on, you know what time it is? Hold on. Are you ready?
Yeah.
It's rapid fire!
Rapid fire!
Here we go.
You're a great talk show host.
All right. Okay, please put on your headphones. No help from the audience.
I know, but I have to look at if I have any notes. No, okay, I'll just do it instinctually. Hit it.
What is the one design tip that never fails?
Wait a minute! Ah! I get stressed out when it's like, hold on, don't move. I answered this one. It was like the one thing I looked at.
Rapid fire, not slow fire.
Shit, that is slow fire. What's the one design trick that never fails? Heart, energy, feeling, how you feel about the room. How I feel about that. I actually was thinking that we have a really good dichotomy with the marble and the paper right now.
Yeah, a lot of people have mentioned that. Wood and stone, go great. Okay, what is, sorry, we need a little light music here. What is the one person in design history you would want to eat dinner with?
Jean-Michel Franck.
Who?
Jean-Michel Franck.
Oh, classic. Love the villains. Okay, what podcast or show are you listening to right now?
Yours.
Love it. Okay.
In general, I'm not listening to as many. I'm watching Masterclass actually a lot though, which was fabulous.
You have a favorite one?
You know, I thought Kelly did an amazing job. I thought it was fantastic. I watched Anna Wintour, Kelly, and Frank Gehry so far. They're really good.
Love it. All right. What is your must-read design book?
Jean-Louis Degnaud Interiors. David Collins first, Jean-Louis Degnaud, and Joseph Durand.
All right. So we got London, Paris, and who was the last one?
London, Paris, Paris. It's basically
London, Paris, Paris.
And that's basically my zone.
The continent. All right. Most important. Favorite Phillip Jeffries wall covering?
Of all time. Wow, man. I guess I'm going to go with the fade, but the studs and stripes would be right backed up.
All right. So look, we got it here. You can either fade away.
Love. It's so amazing. It's also at Chileno. Did you know that we have a home in Chileno Bay in Cabo San Lucas, and they just did their whole spa in that wallpaper from you.
Oh, you guys sent some pics.
It's amazing.
Well, we got some great pics on Phillip Jeffries, showing it on the stories. If anyone is interested, Instagram us if you want our new magazine, The Drop, where we feature fabulous designers and some great design and some new product and lots of fun stuff. Before we go, Adam, is there anything you'd like to tell the audience about?
Yeah, well, yes, a little bit. I'm starting my own sort of visual series. It's going to be a different format than this, but again, it's one of the things that I think was birthed out of this situation. So it's called, get ready, Design Hunter, and we're starting with people from all over aspects, not just interior design. Thomas Lavin, Holly Hunt, Rosemary Halgarten, Adam Kamen, some Amunil, but also my wonderful sister, who's a famous psychiatrist, who was on the Today Show yesterday, Robin Berman, talking about mental health and how that plays into your sanctuary. So we do have a Design Hunter visual series coming out in a couple weeks. And a cocktail table book by Christmas.
No.
What'd you say?
You need someone to talk about the walls. Let me know.
Yeah, I know. Are you kidding? We'll do this again.
Awesome. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Love you all here. Again, thank you for giving me a reason to shave and actually dress up. For Adam, for Phillip, and all of Phillip Jeffries. Thanks for tuning in Behind the Design, where we talk design, business, and have a little bit of fun in this crazy new world. Bye, guys.
Bye. Thanks, Phillip.